Are we witnessing a new era of Chinese military assertiveness? Some argue we are, and that China's President Xi Jinping has shifted the country's approach to defence, a reflection of China's growing ambitions to protect expanding global interests and project power beyond its borders. But how is Beijing doing that? In this video, we dig into China's military cooperation with other nations. This is China training alongside Tanzania and Mozambique. It's just one of the most recent exercises Beijing has committed to as it looks to build military alliances and partnerships. China has recently been described as being part of a deadly quartet of countries by George Robertson, who's heading up the Defence Review, the others being Iran, Russia and North Korea. The shifting of global power dynamics is making the world's big players nervous. But I want to know, why is China, with its historically inward-focused military strategy, expanding its horizons?
China's perception of how it needed to engage with the world has also shifted over time. So China needs partners with whom to cooperate, not necessarily allies, but Chinese investments have, of course, also moved abroad at a more rapid pace. And as you saw with the Belt and Road Initiative, there was also a shift in strategic thinking in the military that China needed to be able to protect its assets, whether citizens or investments around the world. So that has been part and parcel of that strategy.
Countries hold joint military exercises for several reasons: to practice working with allies, to strengthen alliances, to improve their capabilities, and to demonstrate power and readiness. And that last one is probably the main driving force for China.
China also, of course, has seen the United States as a country with whom there are extensive military relationships in what China considers its own periphery region, namely the Asia Pacific. And so there is a need to engage with regional partners to exert influence, to gain stronger relationships and build that trust with China's own neighbors as well.
What about relations with Russia? These are Chinese and Russian bombers conducting their first joint air patrol over the North Pacific Ocean and Bering Sea near Alaska last month, a recently declared joint operational area. When it comes to Russia's war in Ukraine, China hasn't condemned or supported it, and to understand that, you have to look at it from China's perspective.
These are two countries who are not necessarily allies of one another, but they do, as you mentioned, have growing strategic relationships. That has been occurring against a wider backdrop of course, US-China competition. I think both China and Russia see themselves in lockstep in that respect vis-a-vis the United States. But also, I think there are shared principles there more generally around how they think the world should be organized, on what principles that should lie. And so in a way, there's a partnership there that is multifaceted.
But how extensive are Chinese joint exercises? This is China teaming up with Cambodia and Laos in recent months. Figures gathered by the International Institute for Strategic Studies show in the Asia-Pacific between 2003 and 2022, America conducted 1,113, China 128.
So there has been a slow increase and slow build in China's exercises in both the numbers and the scale. China seems to use exercises in a slightly different way than the United States. There's that deterrent effect. There's the political and diplomatic effect of trust building with partners. But when it comes to practicing for a future war scenario, it's not clear that China is doing so together with partners. And so military exercises are not for that purpose in the way that the United States is using them.
But China's expanding military cooperation is contributing to a reshaping of global security dynamics. Claire Sadler, BFBS Forces News. Thanks for watching. For more from Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.